The friendly city in the Adventure Province played host to the fourth round of the South African National Rally Championships when the VW Rally returned for the 35th time to the roads of Uitenhage, Port Elizabeth and the MTO Longmore forests. The forest roads are eagerly anticipated annually.
In the Longmore area, really awesome fast stuff, and I reckon some of the best stages in this country, but fast, and highways, really neat and tidy.
Longmore Forest, the best roads in the country, I would say. Culturama, all those stages look fantastic. The condition of the roads are very good.
After 3 rounds of rallying action, the championship recommenced following a midwinter break at the VW Rally. The dominant narrative of the season thus far has been the closing of the gap between the 3 times defending national champion Guy Botterill and the chasing pack. Increased maturity and consistency from Richard Leek has seen him convert from Botterill's fastest rival on a stage-by-stage basis to his closest rival for the title. Chris Kurtz's new car, a Mazda 2, has lifted him from the midfield battle and right into the title shake-up. In the newly established classic class, the championship points have been hoovered up en masse by Lee Rose. With the cars in the class featuring a wide variety of engine sizes, the championship standings are calculated with a complex, consistency-based formula. But while Roelof Kurze and Etienne Malherbe have maintained a steady pace while in the running, they have been unable to match Rose's ability to get his car through rallies unscathed. The season kicked off back in March with the Tour Natal Rally. Taking place outside of Scottburgh, the sugarcane fields of KwaZulu-Natal set the scene for the opening battles of the year. A spectacular crash put Asia Potgieter and his co-driver Mari van der Walt out of the rally on the first stage of the second day, which left Richard Leek in a two-way tussle with Guy Botterill for the rally victory. The KZN local Botterill eventually emerged victorious and got his title defence off to the best possible start. The championship then moved north in April for the York Rally in Sabi. Like the VW Rally, the York Rally is famous for its challenging forest roads, and once again Guy Botterill topped the timesheets. Bad luck curtailed Richard Leek's chances, but Asia Potgieter took over the task of challenging Botterill and eventually placed second ahead of his hometown rally. The third event of the season was the Secunda Rally, where the deceptively difficult conditions rapidly turned the event into a war of attrition. Guy Botterill and Richard Leek both nursed their cars to the finish, while a broken windscreen caused Asia Potgieter to crash out on the second event of the season. Chris Kurze in his brand new car capitalized superbly to take the R2 class victory. But in a turn-up for the books, Lee Rose in his classic Ford Escort was victorious overall. After 3 of the season's 6 rallies, the South African National Rally Championship standings are as follows. Guy Botterill leading on 41 points, Richard Leek and Chris Kurze were locked in second on 29 points. In the South African Classic Rally Championship, Lee Rose held a significant 40-point lead over Roelof Kurze, while Etienne Malherbe was a further 22 points behind. Day 1 of the VW Rally featured 4 stages, with the rally getting underway from the Volkswagen Auto Pavilion in Uitenhage. The historic motor museum to all things VW helped get rally fans into the mood for a weekend of motorsports before the ceremonial start. The first 2 stages of the day saw the drivers repeat an 18.84 kilometer route, which featured a mix of tight and technical corners, which then opened up to fast straights and sweeping bends near the end of the stage. The final 2 stages of the day saw the rally move on to the Bay West Mall for 2 spectator-friendly night stages. The second day of the rally featured 6 stages, 5 of which took place in the Rally Heaven, which is the MTO Group's Longmore plantations, before returning to the Bay West Mall for the final stage of the VW Rally. task of sweeping the roads fell to Richard Leek at the VW Rally. A much maligned role which rotates through the R2 class field, the order in which they would sweep the roads was determined by drawing lots at the beginning of the season. Assisted by Henrik Kone in the Ford Fiesta, Leek posted the second fastest time on both stage 1 and 2. Second on the road was the Shield Car Care VW Polo of George Smallberger and Chris Brand.
60, right 3 short is left 3, right 3 short is left 3, into right 2 110, turn left 8, and double caution jump into long right 4, double caution jump into long right 4.
Third on the road and posting the fastest times on the opening 2 stages was the Toyota Gazoo Racing Etios of Guy Botterill and Simon Vassilile. Next up was the newcomer to the National Rally Championship, Johannes Potgieter, with the experienced Tommy du Toit alongside him in the Ford Fiesta. The Silverton Engineering Toyota Etios meanwhile was piloted by Tjart Conradi, with Murray van der Walt in the co-driver's seat. Asia Potgieter and Nico Swartz expected to be the top performing VW at the event in the Lake Umuzi Polo. With the momentum of their victory in Secunda still driving them on, Chris Kutzer and Greg Godrich were eager to impress in the Electro Thread Mazda 2. The first of the classic cars was the Ford Escort of Lee Rose and Elvian Kutsia. The pair experienced their first issue of the season on stage 2 and were forced to stop in the stage. Looking to capitalize on his primary rival's withdrawal was Etienne Malherbe in the Datsun SS. Co-driving for Malherbe at the VW Rally was Robbie Kutsia. Andrew Heine and Lloyd Brady in a Toyota liftback were also mixing it up in the classic class. As the sun set, the rally fans made their way to the Bay West Mall. The short 1.5 kilometer course snaked its way into a small area, making it possible to see the cars throughout most of the stage from one point on the route.
In Classic Rides, we revisit the past to portray the classic and veteran cars of decades gone by.
My passion goes back 27 years, and that's when I bought the first old-timer.
We meet the personalities who wrote automotive history, and we send a couple of very old cars around very fast circuits.
This is a real car, not a road car converted to a rally car. This car has a known history. It was originally a test car.
Catch a brand new season of Classic Rides every week on Ignition DSTV channel 189.
Going quite well. The first stage, quite glad to get it underway and no drama, so we took it a little bit easy, and then the second stage was a repeat of the first, so we knew the road a bit well, so we pushed a little bit harder, and then we've got these two night stages here at the mall with a jump in it. It's quite interesting, but it's going well. Everything's going good so far. After the first night stage, a short service allowed the crews to tweak setups
before they set out for the final stage of the day. Magnetic Storm's fireworks provided some added drama to the jump, but the real technical features of the course were the first 4 hairpin bends. Despite some minor incidents, all the drivers navigated the 9 stages successfully, leaving the standings as follows at the end of day 1. Guy Botterill led Richard Leek, with Asia Potgieter in 3rd.
Oh yeah, it went well. I'm laying 3rd I think now. So we're just going on, just staying in 3rd position. It's a nice position to start tomorrow. So it's going well.
This is more for the spectators. Fast run on gravel and then some really tight stuff on tar. We were running well and then we overcooked it at the very last corner. But it's fun and it's not really too much time gained or lost by anybody here.
While the cars are parked into Parc Fermé overnight and any emergency repairs are punished with time penalties, the real work goes into getting the vehicles ready for a rally, as Guy Botterill and Chris Kurze explain.
Well, what we'll do now, we'll take the car back. The truck will arrive back on Sunday. Monday morning, first thing that happens is we completely unpack the truck, clean everything, and then my engine is the first thing that's going to be taken out and sent to the engine builder. And then we rebuild the gearbox, we rebuild the shocks, we take all the wiring out the car, drive shafts get inspected. If they're alright, then they get put one side, the gearbox gets completely rebuilt. So basically at the end of 2-3 weeks we've got a brand new car almost. So every time we run the car it gets completely rebuilt after each event.
Well, the guys they've got off-road racing next weekend, and then the week after that they'll strip the car down to bare bones again, check everything, replace what needs to be replaced. We're still in development with this car, so some parts we're still replacing before they break, even if we don't know they're going to break. So there's a lot of work before the next rally. Hopefully we can get the car ready in time to do some more testing.
Day 2 of the VW Rally saw the race make the long liaison from the Bay West Mall to the MTO Group's Longmore Forest Plantations. The 5 forest stages totaled 102 kilometers, significantly shorter than in 2016, when the PPC Ultimate stage alone clocked up 42 kilometers. The shorter stages by no means made the rally easier though. With the distances reduced, the margins between the podium competitors proved to be closer than ever.
There's a scary section over the mountain with some big drops. There are no trees now after the bushfire, so you can see the cliffs. But it's great, you just have to take it easy over there, and then a lot of the rest of the stage you can really go for it.
Guy Botterill was first on the road, having topped the timesheets on day 1. But he developed an overheating issue on stage 5, and then a stone knocked a brake lining off during stage 6. This opened the door to stage victories for Asia Potgieter and the hard-charging Richard Leek.
Well, first stage on day 2 was Culturama, lovely stage. Being the first car on the road, we did a lot of sweeping. It was very slippery out there in some of the corners, so I'm quite sure the times will start dropping as the field starts going through and cleaning the line. But we're quite happy, we got through the stage with no problems, and I think we posted a reasonable time. We just got to wait for everyone else to come in and see what times they did.
Potgieter claimed stage victory on stage 5 as he sought to narrow the gap to Botterill. Chris Kurze was the 4th fastest as he took a more cautious approach to the first run through both MTO Culturama and PPC Jelly. George Smallberger was also exercising caution, particularly in the mountain pass sections of the longer PPC Jelly stage. In the Toyota Etios, Chart Conradi was running 4th until a broken brake hose cost him nearly 6 minutes on stage 6. Debutant Johannes Potgieter suffered cruel mechanical issues too, as he was forced to withdraw after stage 6 while lying in 6th overall. In the classic class, Etienne Malherbe had the lead, and using all his experience to minimize the potential for damaging his 40-year-old Datsun. Another family combination in the classic class was that of Lola and Eddie Verlaque in the VW Golf Mark 1. The Mackenzies, Ashley and Father Les, were also running strongly still in their Ford Escort Mark 1. Lee Rose, meanwhile, was back in the rally under Super Rally rules. After 6 stages, Guy Botterill leads the VW Rally by 17 seconds over Richard Leek, with Arcia Potgieter in third.
Now these are proper rally stages, very fast flowing, huge drops. So, you want to take it carefully, but you can't because you lose too much time. But the tricky one's coming now with the biggest drops. So we're all a bit nervous. But take it as it comes.
On stage 7, Guy Botterill blitzed the course, winning by over 15 seconds. Richard Leek lost ground to Botterill, but extended his buffer to third. Arcia Potgieter rounded out the top 3 on the stage, 3 seconds down on Richard Leek and 18 down on Botterill. Stage 8 was won by Richard Leek as disaster struck Guy Botterill. Arcia Potgieter capitalized too, moving up to 2nd overall. Chart Conradi was 4th on the stage, but was not well enough placed to move into podium reckoning. But the win on stage 7 would be the Gazoo Racing Etioz's last.
We've been having a problem with our engine the whole event. It's been leaking water and we can't find where the water's been leaking. And now, during that stage there, the engine node changed. And we knew the engine was about to blow, and then 5Ks later, that's when it just said enough. And we were running on 3 cylinders and we made it to the end and parked it. Couldn't go any further. No, it wasn't my fault.
With us now being in the lead with plus minus 30 seconds, Guy unfortunately had a motor issue standing after the stage. It opens up the championship. If we can get it to the end in the same position we are now, touch wood, we will be back in the championship. The fight would be on. As Guy mentioned in his interview yesterday, this is the second half of the championship, so it's a restart. Everything is close enough for the championship to get going again.
A naturally aspirated 5-litre V8 engine, a 10-speed direct shift transmission, a meticulously crafted interior. All of these are feats of engineering. Combining them with a near-perfect weight distribution is a feat of amazing. Experience the first ever 351 kilowatt Lexus LC500. Experience amazing.
This is it, the jewel in the crown of the South African cross-country racing series, the Toyota Kalahari Botswana 1000 Desert Race. Its name may be a marathon in itself, but the desert, as it's also known, is an icon in Southern African motorsport, and the 2017 edition of the race was no exception. All the action is brought to you by Toyota, Ford and Total Exilium in association with the SACCS.
Between stages, rally fans were entertained by Luister FM as they broadcast live from the VW Rally. Accompanying their repertoire of rock classics and South African favourites was a jumping castle for the kids, 3 food trucks and a pop-up coffee shop, all of which made the VW Rally the most spectator-friendly event of the year thus far. With the VW Rally victory in his sights, Richard Leek won the penultimate stage. Arcia Potgieter completed the final gravel stage safely to cement his 2nd position overall. In the classic class, Etienne Malherbe looked set for victory as he topped the timesheets, leaving the Longmoor forests. Back at the Bay West Mall, the final stage of the VW Rally was a daylight repeat of the course used for the previous evening's night stages. With victory all but secured, Leek eased off the pace slightly, as did Arcia Potgieter. Potgieter's 2 DNFs so far this season meant that he was only too happy to bank the 12 points for 2nd. Chart Conradi and Marie van der Walt meanwhile took the stage victory on the 10th and final stage of the VW Rally. George Smallberger also brought his VW Polo in safely, completing the rally in 5th position overall. Backing up his victory at the Secunda Rally with more championship points was Chris Kutzer, who finished the VW Rally on the final step of the podium. The classic class was wrapped up by Etienne Malherbe in his Datsun SS. There was still a moment of drama when Ashley and Les McKenzie stopped mid-stage. Fortunately for them, they got their Mark 1 Escort going again and completed the VW Rally in 2nd in their class. The Classics podium was completed by the PE locals Ido Steyn and Mark Irvine in another Ford Escort Mark 1.
This rally was very awesome. Well done to Rickis and the team for organising it. The roads were superb. I've never seen the roads just as good. So thank you to them. The rally was quite good for us. It started off well, and then the 2 night stages were a bit tricky for us. We had a few problems. And then this morning started off well again, and then we lost back brakes and stuff. So we had a few issues today. The clutch went as well. But towards the end we got everything out and sorted.
Yeah, that's what we planned. We hope for the points, and it's good points. So we'll just keep on the next rally, Bronkhorstspruit, and keep the points, get the points, and yeah, definitely easier. It's more my where I learned to drive rally. So we'll see. We'll push our hardest best there and see where we finish.
After 10 tough stages of the VW Rally, this is how the final general classification standings shook out, with Richard Leek taking the rally victory by 34 seconds, and with Etienne Malherbe winning the classic class by a commanding 14 minutes and 6 seconds. After the final stage, the now customary fan joyrides took place, with many of the drivers posting faster times on the rerun of the final stage with rally fans in their cars than they did with their co-drivers.
Sure, that was amazing. I want to do it now. I want a car. It was too short, but it was such an amazing experience, and I'm so glad I got to experience that.
It was an awesome experience. Got some airtime, did a couple of handbrake turns. Totally awesome. Very motivated to want to do it myself.
Ja, nee, kijk, het was baie lekker geweest.
The classic class win was Etienne Malherbe and Robbie Kutzer's first of the season, and as such they were thoroughly doused in sparkling wine by their fellow podium finishers. With the ever-exuberant pairing of Richard Leek and Henry Kona atop the podium, most of the fans knew they'd have to make a run for it once the MCC popped. But some weren't quite quick enough. After the VW Rally, Richard Leek now leads the championship race in the R2 class over Guy Botterill, with Chris Kutzer just behind in 3rd. In the South African Classic Rally Championship, Lee Rose still leads Etienne Malherbe. But while before the VW Rally Rose appeared imperious, the rest of the classic class now knows that his Mark II Escort is also fallible. The VW Rally marks the halfway point in the South African National Rally Championship season. With 4 rallies now completed, only 3 remain. Up next is the Electro Thread Rally in Bronkhorstspruit in Gauteng on the 18th and 19th of August. The rally made its national championship debut in 2016 as the Hall Speed Rally. For 2017, the title sponsorship by the new series sponsors Electro Thread should see the rally taken to new heights, with plans afoot to ensure spectator entertainment is unrivaled. The title race now delicately poised too, with Richard Leek leading before the drivers are given the opportunity to drop their worst result. The Electro Thread Rally will take on an added significance. Guy Botterill was victorious on the previous visit to northeast Gauteng, and if Leek is to win the championship this season, he'll need to outscore the Toyota driver in Bronkhorstspruit. Chris Kutzer, meanwhile, is just 3 points behind Botterill and 7 behind Leek, and will be highly motivated to outperform the young guns at his home rally.
Bronkhorstspruit Rally we hope is going to be good fun. We're starting in the Bronkhorstspruit area, and then it will finish near Cullinan at the Willem Prinsloo Museum, where they always have a great Mampur festival, and we hope to have some good entertainment. I think this rally paved the way again for some new innovations, and we will definitely try to beat them again.
And so, from the forest tracks of the MTO Longmore plantations and the spectator-lined roads of the Bay West Mall, this has been the VW Rally. Tune in again in August for the Electro Thread Rally. And in the meantime, be sure to visit www.sarallying.co.za to stay up to date with all the South African National Rally Championship action.